Now, this is where it gets nitty-gritty. This is my favourite part because I'm going to show you how to decorate your skirt with absolutely anything. Look, you can use a stamp here, butterfly stamp, with fabric paint. You can use iron-on transfers, but what I'm going to use is ribbon. So, what I'm going to show you is how you can stick two pieces of ribbon together without having to use a sewing machine, and that is by using iron-on glue. So what you do is you put your, you can see there, you put your glue, it's like a piece of paper, onto the back of the ribbon like so. Hold it in place like that. Now you get your iron. Again, you have to be very careful. You have to have it on silk setting so it's not too hot. And then for about 1 or 2 seconds, you whiz it over like that. I'm going to have to do it in sections because you have to do this quite quickly. You wait for a couple of seconds. When the ribbon feels like it's cool, it's still quite hot. Cool. Then what you do, you peel off the paper, and what you have underneath is a lovely layer of glue there. So basically, we do that to the whole piece of ribbon. Now, the next step is to get your two pieces of ribbon and place one on top of the other like this. Now this is actually quite tricky, so you have to make sure you've got this in place. In fact, you might even want to put a pin just at the end, just to keep it in place. Because once that glue is set, there's no going back. Right, we get the iron. What we do, we go over the fabric like that. And what happens is, let's see if that, I think we can do a little bit more. I'll tell you what happens is, ta-da! Basically, they're now completely glued together. So you work along the whole piece of ribbon until it's all stuck together. Okay, so we're at the end there. I'm just going to put the iron aside now. Pop it there. Now, what we are going to do is, I'm going to, again, roughly pin this to the bottom of the skirt. So this kind of reminded me of being in America because all the stars here. So basically, there's the start of your skirt with the funky ribbon on the bottom. Right, we're now going to have a smashing time because, do you remember that old tile that I found in the dustbin earlier? Well, now this is where we get creative because I'm going to smash it up. So what you do for safety, you pop it into a newspaper like so, yeah? Like that. Like that. Then you get your hammer, right? And this is where it gets fun. Okay, think of somebody you hate and then you'll do it really well. Ah, there we go. Right, let's have a look. Now, you might want to wear rubber gloves because this is actually quite dangerous because they're very sharp. But what you need to do is get some sandpaper, rub them down, and what you will be left with is a lovely little piece of red glass like that. So what I'm going to do is very carefully dump that over there before I cut myself. Now, what I love about using little bits and bobs like this is you can then stick them to any part of your skirt like so. I'm not going to stick that right now because I actually want to get my scissors into something else as well. Now, what I'm going to do with this is cut some really cool creative shapes out of this. What you have to do is just cut around like that, yeah? You can use anything, shampoo bottles, conditioner bottles, and then what you do is you can use a template, so you can almost cut around there, get a pen, circle around the cotton reel there, and then, you know, cut out your circle. I'm just going to do this freehand, like that. So basically, you can cut any shape you want. It could be square, could be triangle, but I'm going for a circle on this one. I thought it would be nice to have a different shape. Right, okay, so what you can do here is you can stick down that, and then you can also stick down a piece of glass like that. So it just shows you your rubbish can actually be one of the best features on your skirt. But we'll stick those down later with some super glue. Right, next, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this gorgeous black sparkly fabric. Now, I've had this kicking around the house for ages. I actually made a beautiful panel curtain out of this, but I happen to have a little bit left over. So what I'm going to do is, I thought I'll cut it in half. So what you do, you fold it like that, because there's actually a lovely flower design on there that I really want to put onto the backs of the pockets. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to line up the flower on the back pocket there. When I've got it in place, and I think it looks good, I'm then going to pin it actually where I want it to stay. Then what I'm going to do is cut around the edge and get rid of all the excess fabric that I don't need. Now, I'm going to work quite close to the pocket because I actually want to use the corner of this for something else I've got in mind for this skirt. So roughly cut around the pocket. I'll neaten it up in a minute. Just doing it roughly. Well, I haven't cut it to size, but you can get the rough idea of what's happening there. What I'm going to do, just to trim it off, just to make it look a little bit edgy, I've got some gorgeous silver metallic ribbon here. So what I'm going to do, again, chop it in half, like that. Go for a nice little juicy bit. Actually, I'm going to get, go for a little juicy bit down there, like that. There we go. Right, and we're going to pin this little bit in position. Okay, so now you're getting an idea of what it's going to start looking like. So I will cut that bit off there, but what we've got is a really nice trim to the top of the pocket there, which you can still use as a pocket. Also, just to make the pockets look a little bit groovy, I've got some really lovely sparkly magpie-like red fabric, ribbon, actually. What we're going to do is get rid of that sellotape at the end. Quite a good idea putting sellotape on the end of like ribbons that fall apart, because then they won't fall apart. And what I'm going to do is just trim off the pockets here, just give them a little bit of a lining. So there we go, a gorgeous little bit of red sequins just to trim off the pocket there. So there you have it, girls. It just shows you that with a bit of creativity and a bit of rummaging around your dustbins, you can come up with the ultimate mini skirt that's going to give you maxi confidence this summer. But if you think it looks fantastic now, just watch this space.